this country's biggest cities is facing a water crisis of epic proportions. Thousands of people have been left without any water. I want to bring in Hank Winchester, a reporter who has been covering this story from the very beginning from NBC affiliate WDIV there in Detroit, and Maureen Taylor. Maureen Taylor is state chair of the Michigan Welfare Rights Organization. Thank you both for being with me. Hank, let me start with you. Michigan's Department of Human Services has been overwhelmed with complaints about financial assistance in this crisis. How many people are at risk in Detroit's water crisis here, Hank?
Oh, Craig, we're talking about thousands of people, and the number growing every day. Here's why. Because the water department is continuing to shut off water to those who have these huge outstanding bills. Some of these people have a desperate need. They simply cannot afford to pay the bill. They need help from state agencies like you mentioned, DHS, but there are other people, and this is where it gets controversial, who simply don't want to pay the water bill, who'd rather spend money on cable. It's also important to note that the water department has come out and said, listen, we're willing to make a deal. If you want to pay, set up a payment plan or pay a portion of your water bill, we'll turn you back on. But you simply can't ignore the water department.
How serious is a potential health hazard in this crisis?
Before I answer that, let me say shame on Hank. Shame on him for putting that lie and that mis and that disinformation out on the air.
Maureen,
to suggest that people don't want to pay for a water bill is scandalous. What is at stake here,
Maureen,
young man?
You don't believe that there are people that don't want to pay the bill?
I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question.
Go ahead,
what
Maureen.
is at stake here is that there are tens of thousands of low-income families who cannot pay rising water bill costs. The cost of living is going up, the chances of living are going down, and we got these reporters out here like this guy that's just standing on the side of people that have money. Yes, there are bills that are being contested, but what we're talking about is 2 months being behind, $150 or more is what you owe, but the same kind of situation and the same kind of threat is not being made to these folks that are rich, golf courses.
You know what, Maureen, I'm glad you brought that up.
Millions and whatnot of dollars.
Maureen,
It's an outrage what I hear here this morning.
Maureen, I'm glad you did bring that part up, because while residents have been shut off, Joe Louis Arena, where the Detroit Red Wings, where the hockey team plays, they owe a little bit more than $82,000, I understand, in water bills. The Detroit Lions Stadium Ford Field owes more than $55,000. Golf courses, as you just mentioned, owned by the city of Detroit, owe more than $400,000.
They're not being threatened with shut-off.
The state of Michigan,
they're not being told that your service is going to be cut off.
$5 million for water at state fairgrounds, as I understand it.
We have been told many of those now have cleared their balances, but it's important to point out here, and we've made it very clear from day one. We understand, and of course I understand as a reporter who worked in this city for 14 years, that we know that there are people that have tough financial situations.
Shame on you.
And you've talked to these people. People have said to you, you know what, I've got the money, I just don't want to pay for water.
Right. I mean, we've heard stories on both sides of the issue.
Like that.
What would you like to see happen, Maureen?
In 10 seconds, I can't tell you what I want to happen because I don't want to speak those words. But the next time you invite me to be here, let's have some truth and a fair exchange, as opposed to Hank, who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Gobble up all the time. I'll talk to you later.